I wrote it down.
That means there was not a little bit.
No, it's a lot.
It's a lot of it.
I started seeing colors that you can't describe, and it was amazing. I did see paint, since I love to paint. I saw paintings, very beautiful paintings. I saw all of us levitate.
Really? Yummy.
We were all levitating. And then I was seeing things from a different perspective. I was underneath the earth, but I could see transparently.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I was trying to understand what it meant. And so I was telling myself, don't analyze it. 2 seconds later, you say, don't analyze it. And then it kept repeating certain things I would say to myself. And then I think 2 or 3 times, I would say the exact thing that was in my head.
That tends to happen.
And so I was like, okay. I just felt hair on my face. I kept on pushing it out, and then it just kept coming back. And I don't have hair. So, and then I realized it's connected to a dream that I had a few days ago, where I was this person. I am this person. I exist now in a different country as a woman,
Okay.
a blonde woman in a different country.
Right.
And I see people in my dream who have no idea who they are. And I realized I guess I was in the body of this woman. And she was by the sea, and the wind was kept on brushing against her face. So
Yeah.
I was feeling that, and I just kept on doing this to get the hair out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I just accepted the moment. I threw myself back, and I could see what was happening, and I was understanding her feelings
Yeah.
and how it was affecting my karmic decisions as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So I was beginning to understand that. I was again in the sea. I was all things. That was also wonderful. So I was I was jumping from animal to animal. And
Yeah.
I was really enjoying it. I was enjoying the moment a lot. I was in the crucifixion again.
Okay. Yeah.
I saw the flogging this time. I saw a woman very sad. And that was, I think, the only sad moment I had in the entire thing, because everything else was just, as I write down, happy, calm, calm. It was very calming and very peaceful. And I thank whoever kept on touching me, because their energies kept on kept on transferring to me.
It's not really 3 people. If 3 people are walking around, 3 people will touch you.
Okay, thank you.
We'll get everyone.
Thank you. One of the last few visions I saw all our prayers. It was going like this. It was
Our
coming
prayers.
out from our bodies. It was going up, and I thought would go up, and it went back
What
down.
does it look like?
Um,
The prayers.
reversed snowflakes,
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
and then but it went back down, and it went back down to the earth, and it just showered all the earth with this snowflake of all your prayers. So I saw all your prayers, just like a snowflake. And then I saw our collective consciousness. It was just cloaking the earth like a cocoon. It was like a beautiful cocoon. And then when it cracked open, you see this new earth shining anew. It was just white and pure. It was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I had very wonderful, happy.
Yeah. That's good. The thing that really sponsored the innerdance was after I read those books. So my feedback was pretty much like
Yeah.
things you would watch in a movie that you wouldn't believe would ever happen were happening. So I can only imagine the kind of feedback loop that your body's experiencing.
Yeah. And so I thank you for letting me read those books.
Thank you for bringing copies for everyone. We'll find a way to print it. It's a very
It's
important.
audiobook. You can just listen to it.
Oh yeah. Fine. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Today was different too. Every time is different. So I just opened myself widely. I say, okay, I open well my arms, both sides of the brain. I open my mind. then I am there. Okay, I'm open.
Yeah.
And suddenly I become a starfish.
Okay.
I'm open there and I say, wow, oh, now I am a starfish. And it was a nice feeling, but I'm a starfish, I cannot move. But I was feeling the water, I said, wow, it was nice also being a starfish. And somehow after some time from the starfish, something pulled me up like an energy, and I'm going up, and then I become a star in the sky, and from the starfish I'm a star, and then I start kind of shining, and I say, well, now I'm a star. And from there it's like the light fall down again, and then I am a human body, and I say, wow, I'm a human body. And then it's like I'm realizing my human body, and then I start to, wow, human body. And then my arms start like
That's
circling,
incredible.
circling, and I'm laughing at it because at the beginning it was slow, and after it is speeding. And I see that because it didn't happen before, but it was quite speed sometime.
Yeah.
And it was even beating like, I said, oh, look at my arms, what he's doing. And for a moment I was laughing, and it was so quite speed that it was even like a little bit in my face. And I said, okay, that's not me, but it's happening. And then I just let the flow, and then I wanted to experience a little more my human body with different forms, and feeling the air around me, and it was very nice.
What can I say?
Thank you.
It's like a children's book. Maybe the starfish. It's incredible. It's a good story.
Okay. Okay.
Go for it.
I'm going for it. So my first inner dance in Palawan, actually. I only co-facilitated here. I never laid down. Oh gosh. Okay. It felt, what I remember at least, because there were so many things, but what I remember initially was it felt very tantric, if anything. I don't know if the word sexual is maybe more tantric. And
Yeah, but we know what it means anyway when you say sexual.
Right. Right, and it felt like I was consumed by some. Okay, so I felt this energy, this very powerful energy. It almost felt blue, but maybe purple, maybe golden. I don't know. It was just coming at me, and it said to me, "Okay, just just open your arms and just take me." Right. So it felt as if I was penetrated by this energy. So, I don't even know why I'm laughing. Okay, it was really heavy. It was powerful. So there was a lot of energy in my lower chakras, and then the song changed, and then I felt as if I was marching, and it felt like there were. It was like a group of, it was like plenty of people, like ancient civilizations or something. It felt really ancient. All different sorts of powerful people. And they were saying, they were asking me, do you know who you are? Like, no. And So they took my hand and we started marching. I mean, thousands of people were behind us, and I was in the first row. And I was like, I don't know if I belong here, but they were like, you belong here. So I was marching with them, marching really, really powerful marching, and then I turned into a sunflower. So it was just marching sunflower. So okay, and it was a weird trip. And then I was in Galaxy. It was very smooth, and it was very, it was amazing. It was beautiful. I was just seeing different galaxies, and I was it didn't feel as if I was floating. It was like I was being suspended in between two magnets, and I was like spiraling, circling around, and then and also initially I felt a very strong sense of connectedness, and then there were so many things. Spiraling, yes, and then and then every sound that I heard was literally making love to me. This is why I was laughing, because it was really bizarre feeling. I never experienced that. It was, if I was you, like, were you stomping?
Yeah.
I didn't want this to stop.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah, I was like, yes, yes. It was just amazing, and I really loved it. And then the drums as well, and it was just the sound was inside me, but it was just absolutely, it was so joyful, you know. It was just beautiful. It was beautiful, like this stomping. Really, I could just go on like that forever, and.
That's it, yeah. Because the first inner dances that ever were in the island were stomping. You see how you could trance people into the thing just by the rhythmic, like beat, like heartbeat type. Boom, boom, boom.
Right. Yeah, and it also felt like some point, somewhere in the middle, I felt the earth, as if the earth was making love to me. Everything was making love to me. So, oh gosh. Jesus, what a, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, wow.
That's what happens when you don't lay down and just conduct so many workshops. And by the time you get your feedback, this is what I'm giving to people.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa. You know, so it builds up.
Yeah.
It's a big gift.
Yeah.
It's been a while for you.
Yeah, it's been a while. I before that, I hadn't had inner dance session for 7 months. Yeah, well, kind of. Maybe one in London, but yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't know even what to make of it. There's just so much more, but it was really being consumed, but really empowered. So there was a lot of love. I always experience that, you know. It doesn't matter if I know you or I don't know you. There's just this unconditional love. And what I love about this process, actually, I realize right now that when I'm doing it, I'm in the now, and it doesn't happen often for me. I don't think about the future. I don't think about the past. Actually, I'm in the now. It's like the time that doesn't exist. And like I say, to be honest, yeah, it doesn't happen often. Most of the time I overanalyze everything. Yeah, and I'm just grateful for, you know, for being here and just exploring myself. I explore myself through you, through every single person. I also try to co-facilitate with you here in Palawan for the first time, because before it was always in IDES. It feels different, feels great. Yeah, thank you for letting me be here.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm trying to take my time. There were moments in energy school where I would be quite like sequential. This year I've been like I don't know, an explosion. I've been messing things up almost on purpose because I see the patterns a lot more when I create movement. And so there's something happening here in this circle. There's something happening in the world because it's always the same, you know, like the whole on or the part as the whole is always coexistent. But there's something always that's happening, not just now, but something that happened before is also happening now. But when I do speak about a window, I'm sometimes referring to this, not just there's an opportunity for change, but I can see that I'm also saying there's a portal. It's like there's a moment, or there's a space, or there's a conversation where you can access what you normally cannot access simultaneously. That means that, in the parasympathetic, you can see it's rest and digest. And can you imagine that maybe we've been eating the world again and again, continuously, without the window to digest or to process everything that is now bound up as a very complex network. We weren't processing it before. And I'm sure you noticed how, especially after 2000, after Y2K, after 2012, time doesn't show up the same. Like in a day or a year, time is not the same experience. We have to understand that it was only some years back, decades back, when the computer, the internet, cell phones, modern technology were innovative. They weren't inventions. There has to be some kind of pinnacle or peak point where it's in the fish, where something would go up and something would go down. And so, like I spoke about, inner dance as a global movement. Why is it spreading on its own without the organization? I don't organize anything. I don't call people up. I don't know what's happening. It just has its own way. It's because the inner dance is mirroring a very exact movement that is also happening outside. And all inner dance did was it cooperated with the wave of change, because there is a certain pattern. And so that's what I'd love to point out to you. After every inner dance, if I could just keep pointing out to you, you know how the music goes up and down? And now you can see experience actually has color. Emotions have color. Dimensions of life have color. And it seems to intermix in almost a harmonic somewhere in there, where everything just starts to combine. You know? You want to get it to that point where you're able to hold on to so much. It's like a river. And you never step in the same river twice. So that's disconcerting alone. Like, it's never going to be the same. And I want it to be the same. That's where security comes from. I want it to be something I know. And an energy process is always ridiculously weird, because you're always trying to find out, who am I? I need to hold on to something. But then when nothing comes, it's just a whole bunch of colors and waves and dancing. But that's who you are. You're not a person. You don't have a face. You're actually energy. What does energy look like? It looks like those, what you're seeing. Primordial languaging. You know? Before the complexity of the way we understand logic and rationality right now. That's the archaic. It's the world of the mythical. It's the world of magic. So can you see what's happening? It's almost like the world now folds up, and we have to go back to magic, but we actually become more wise. You will still use more of your brain. It doesn't mean shut it down. You will become extremely intelligent. You will become extremely aware after this rewiring.
I'm still not back in space.
I can tell. You just start from any point.
I started in a desert and was walking, and I could really feel all the sands, like each and every single sand.
Yeah.
And then it started to become more. I started to adapt to the fact that I was in the desert and surrounded by only sand, and then I saw myself playing with it. So it was like more like directing the wind and making shapes and whirling, but also like purifying myself. It was like this wind was really, the scent was cleansing me. And then after that it got more rhythmic somewhere, and then it went really out of space like I've never had before, and I saw also really colors that were not, that I could not. I was thinking all the time, which mixture is this? You know, blue or red or which kind of mixture is this? But then something very, very beautiful happened, because it was like I was the pieces of me were departing, like they were spreading around, and they were spreading everywhere, and it was like like going everywhere, and I realized like, wow, it's not only my pieces that are there, it's also everybody's pieces from here were there,
which is the sand.
And it was, and then I went to look really microscopic, and I went again, but like from here to the sky or to this galaxy or where I was, and I went to see one part, and it's like I went into the lotus. So I dive into the lotus, and from there I came to the flower of life. And it was really like I was in the middle of this point, and that was, I don't know, I never had it. It was the same tantric feeling that I think that you
and
had.
I connect with what you're saying.
I could feel really like all these little parts somewhere. And then I had to gather them, of course. I felt like, no, okay, they're all there, that's very nice. But then I tried to collect again. And then I got an amazing nausea again. And nausea and dizziness, and I'm struggling with that for the last days in my physical body. And it's like I understand it now, because it's like I'm making so many travels, you know, I'm really so fast spaced out and not here, and that's why I needed to move. So if the moving helped, the moving helps. I needed to make rhythm and go in that, and then slowly I was sinking again, and I was feeling that I was gathering these pieces, but they were not only my pieces, they were also pieces from everybody here.
Interesting.
Coming back into my system.
It's interesting.
Like crackling, like. And then I was overwhelmed with light, and then it didn't stop. I mean, till the end of the end, it was like my whole skin was melting away, and I could just sense the pure gold and light within. It was beyond.
You can't dream it up.
No.
No,
It's still beyond. It's still there. And the thing that I felt was to be whole. The wholeness. And
The desert I find very interesting.
I had the desert.
You had it?
Yeah, that's what I said. I feel that we have same visions.
And when I was marching, I was actually marching on the desert.
Okay.
That's the picture of the Israelites going out of Egypt.
Is that what you had?
No, when you were talking, I saw this massive.
I'm thinking of the Little Prince. That figured in big in my space, and you know, like it was all about the flower, like how to love the flower.
Wow. Wow.
Okay, thank you.
Wow.
So cool. Okay.
It's very interesting, and I'm super happy because I wanted to share something anyway. Because in the last days now in Maya, I realized something pretty cool. That that inner dance is actually happening out of sessions. It has nothing to do with laying on the mat.
Yeah.
And I realize it so much when I'm gardening. And there are these cats, and they always follow me around. And they just obviously pretty love me. And then I walk through all the places in Maya to pick something up, and these cats follow me. And then I come back to my place, and then I garden again. And I thought, like, why does it make me feel so happy? And it makes me really incredibly happy. And it's just me and the cats and the garden. And then I got the memory, and this is actually what normally would happen in inner dance, but it happened just like this.
Nice.
That it just reminds me so much on gardening time at home when I was a child. And there were always these animals around, and they were always following us. We had to go to the well to pick some water and then garden and water the plants. And it was always like a warm, makes sense because here it's warm also, like a warm summer evening. And the cats, it looks like they trigger me in a way. They put me back to this memory.
Yeah.
And they put me back to the feeling. And now this inner dance session I was there again, and I knew that it's gonna happen, and I was just looking at it a little bit more deeply. And when the question came now at the end also, so who are you? And then you spoke about time and all the things. It just doesn't. I thought, so who I am? Yeah, I don't know who I am. In fact, I'm probably just this feeling, just this incredible happy feeling. This is what I am, because this is the only thing that still persists and is still the same. Because I was small, now I'm a bit taller.
Yeah.
So it is not me. It's something,
good.
you know.
I like that.
Yeah. And of course I look at her like she's there, and she's also walking around with the cats and with the dog and whatever, sheep and whatever we had.
Yeah, yeah.
But the feeling, this is me. And
You're
that's so beautiful.
You're a feeling inside.
Yeah.
You're not Isa.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
And that's so cool. And it's nice because now Saturday I'm gonna leave, and I'm gonna leave for some months, and of course I was also sad, like, oh, I'm gonna leave Maya behind, and how the cat's gonna be, and my garden gonna be, and everything. But I know that they're gonna be so cool people, and they all gonna take care. And one thing that also happened in Maya, it has nothing to do with the inner dance session today, because people always say that I'm so orange, and I never understood, and I don't know what orange is.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
Okay, it's birthing, and I'm a midwife, and blah blah blah. Okay, everything makes sense. But when I was now in this garden in the last days alone, really just working for myself, I understood the orange. It was so orange. I cannot really describe it, but it was there.
Yeah.
For the first time that I really could feel it.
Yeah.
And that was beautiful.
Orange doesn't have to be the birthing process per se, but it could be the conditions where birthing takes place.
Yeah.
And I mean, you put two people together in the right moment, you're gonna make a baby. You know? That's how the birth. Those are conditions. But you put all the wrong elements together. There's no product. There's no output. So orange is sometimes about like being in the right outer space and inner space, where you're constantly giving birth, and the baby is you. You know.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
And it's spontaneous. I think
It's
this is something
spontaneous,
very important to be creative, but very spontaneous, not planning it. Yeah.
Wow. Very, very intense this time. It was kind of like yesterday, and like when I started to have headache, and this time it was really painful in the beginning, like really intense pain coming to my head, above, like in front here, like really extreme headache. And then I started to see a lot of intensive purple, like really, really much purple. And then it was, I became more like, it became more like a smoke of this purple, and then suddenly I realized that it is an kind of Indian woman playing with this purple dust, and I always had a very strong connection through my life about an Indian woman ever since I was a little kid. I did my own language and stuff, so I always been having a very strong feeling of having an Indian woman somewhere near me, and it felt like definitely it was her playing with the purple dust. And my conscious was, sometimes I was her, and sometimes I was the purple. It was very much shifting. Sometimes I was her and she was dancing and she did all these movements, and suddenly I was more the dust, the purple dust she was playing with, and it was just coming back and forth of that. And then it was some moment there when it was more like me as my body today. I was jumping in to her, and we were just holding each other's hands and like spinning around, and it was so much purple. Everything was so purple, and I was really connected with her this time, and I was like, hey you, like I know you, like hey, so nice to meet you finally. And we were just having a great time, dancing together in this purple air, and then it was something shifted, and we were just soaked in together in this purple dust, and like just up, and we were like out in space, or it was just the energy then. It was not we, it was the connected energy. So the energy was up and up in the universe, and just spinning around, and then something really intense, and that was going on for quite a while. And I feel really tired, because suddenly from that moment up in the space, I started to have like flashes, a lot of flashes, like through, it was feeling like my past life. So it was so much, was like down, up, down, up, down, up, and every time I go down, it was like a new body or a new experience. It was not, sometimes it was more like a human, sometimes it felt more like a plant or an animal, but it was like taka 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 taka, and I have so many expressions, like so many pictures, and it was just like I can't take this, like it was so much going on, and I felt like I've been traveling so much. I feel so tired. Oh God, I see so much. And then you like said, what do you say something about eyes?
The last part?
Yeah, something you started to talk about. The eyes, and I was like, I don't have eyes. I'm an energy. I don't have eyes. And you started to talk about something other, like body parts, and I was like, what? No, I'm an energy. Come on, like I don't have that.
What I was saying is, you're gonna have to go back to the balance between the part that it's basically not here, and we hold a lot of the tension in our eyes, just like in the face. Like I saw you make a face when I said like put your attention in your face, and was doing this, like Kali painting thing. But so I like what you're saying, because it is actually negating it.
No, I was really much into my to the source today, and it was really
Okay.
super intense.
Yeah.
But now the headache everything is gone. But I really started with this intense headache, and then
Yeah. And that is purple in
yeah.
one way or another.
Yeah,
The
it was-
headache is purple.
yeah, it was totally purple all over. So yeah.